On a cold morning in 1944, far from any battlefield, the people of Tokyo stared up at an empty sky and felt something unsettling. The war was no longer obeying distance. No planes, no sirens, no warning. Just the quiet realization that Japan had released a weapon it could no longer see and could never take back. For years, Japan had fought a war defined by oceans. The Pacific was both shield and prison, vast, impassable, unforgiving. After Pearl Harbor, American bombers began creeping closer to the Japanese home islands. But the reverse was impossible. Japan had no bomber capable of reaching the continental United States and returning alive. In Tokyo, this reality burned. By late 1943, the war had turned sharply. The Imperial Navy, once untouchable, was bleeding ships. The skies over Japan were growing louder. Cities were learning what it meant to burn. And in quiet rooms inside the Army's 9th Technical Research Laboratory, officers faced a humiliating truth. America could strike Japan. Japan could not strike America back. Unless the war itself could travel, not by plane, not by ship, but by wind. Japan's scientists knew something ancient and invisible ruled the sky: the jet stream. High above the Pacific, a powerful river of air flowed eastward, fast, relentless, unstoppable. If something could ride that wind long enough, it might cross the ocean entirely. The idea sounded absurd, and yet terrifyingly elegant. The weapon they designed was fragile, almost beautiful. A balloon made of washi paper, glued together with konnyaku paste, 30 feet wide, light enough to float, strong enough to survive the stratosphere. Suspended beneath it, incendiary bombs and anti-personnel explosives, timed fuses, sandbags for ballast, a crude but ingenious mechanism that dropped weight when the balloon sank and released bombs when it reached land. No pilot, no guidance, no recall, just faith in the wind. In Tokyo, military planners argued fiercely. Some called it desperate. Others called it poetic, a silent revenge, drifting across the enemy's sky. The army approved it anyway, not because it was guaranteed to work, but because it might. In November 1944, along Japan's eastern coast, soldiers began launching the balloons. At night, in silence. They rose slowly, ghost-like, slipping into the upper atmosphere, vanishing into darkness. No one could follow them. No one could know where they would land. Each launch felt like tossing a message into the ocean, except this message carried fire. In Tokyo, officials reassured themselves. Even one balloon reaching America would prove Japan could still strike back. They imagined headlines, panic, forests ablaze, civilians terrified by an enemy that arrived without warning. What they did not imagine was the waiting. Days passed, then weeks. No reports, no confirmation, only silence. When the first balloon bomb landed in America, it did not announce itself. It drifted down into remote countryside, caught in trees, tangled in power lines, collapsing quietly into snow-covered forests. Some were found by farmers, others by loggers, most by no one at all. The American government reacted instantly and invisibly. The press was silenced, reports were buried, newspapers printed nothing, radio stations said nothing. If Japan was listening, America would not answer. And so, back in Tokyo, the silence deepened. Military analysts pored over weather data, calculated flight times, estimated trajectories. But there were no explosions to confirm, no panic broadcasts, no photographs. Had the balloons failed? Had they fallen into the ocean? Had America simply ignored them? Denial crept in, quiet and dangerous. By early 1945, Tokyo was dying. American firebombs turned entire districts into furnaces. Families fled with what they could carry.
The sky glowed red night after night, and still the balloon bombs haunted Japan's leadership, not as a triumph, but as a question mark. Then came fragments, a rumor intercepted by intelligence, a coded American military memo, whispers of unexplained explosions in the Pacific Northwest. They had made it. Not many, not enough, but enough to know the unthinkable had happened. Japan had attacked the American mainland, and yet, America had not screamed. In Tokyo, this realization was chilling. The weapon designed to spread fear had instead revealed something worse: control. America had chosen silence. On May 5, 1945, in the forests of Oregon, a balloon bomb finally fulfilled its purpose. A pastor's wife and 5 children found it during a picnic. Curious, innocent, unaware. When it exploded, all 6 were killed instantly. They became the only civilians on the continental United States to die from enemy action during World War II. America still said nothing. The press blackout held. And so, in Tokyo, the truth arrived twisted and incomplete. The balloon bombs had worked, just enough to be monstrous. By the time Japan surrendered, over 9,000 balloon bombs had been launched. Most were never found. Some drifted into Canada. Some vanished into the ocean. Some landed unexploded, waiting. Even decades later, hikers would stumble across rusted remains. Forest rangers would issue warnings. Bomb squads would respond to a war that refused to stay buried. In Tokyo, the balloon bomb program was erased from public memory. Too strange, too shameful, too quietly horrifying. It did not fit the image of honorable warfare. It felt unclean, a weapon that killed without witness, without intent, without control. The balloon bombs taught Japan a lesson no general wanted to admit. Distance is not protection, and silence is not weakness. The wind carried Japan's war across an ocean, but it also carried back a truth far more devastating. In the end, the balloons did not change the war, but they changed something deeper. They proved that once a weapon is released into the world, whether into the sky, the sea, or history itself, it no longer belongs to those who created it. It belongs to chance. Today, the jet stream still moves east, silent, invisible, unstoppable, and somewhere beneath it, forests grow over forgotten wreckage, paper and steel reminders of a moment when Tokyo tried to fight a continent with nothing but wind, and learned how terrifying the quiet can be.